You wake up, you go through the motions, work, obligations, distractions. The weeks roll by and you look around and think to yourself, how did I get here? You're not failing, you're drifting. If that's you, this video might change everything. I'm Lachlan Stuart. I've coached hundreds of high-performing men through what I call the Life Performance System. And before that, I learned more about mental endurance running 58 marathons in 58 consecutive days than most people will learn in their lifetime. Today, I'm breaking down how to take control of your life when you're stuck, even if you're successful. This isn't about motivation, it's about clarity, and I'm going to show you exactly how I went from drifting to having direction. Here's what I know about you. You're capable, probably great at your job, maybe you earn good money, people respect you. But inside, you feel empty. You know you're capable of more, you can feel it. But every time you try to figure out what's next, the options overwhelm you, so you stay stuck. Not because you're lazy, but because you're paralyzed by possibility. Most men who feel stuck aren't stuck because they lack drive. They're stuck because they lack clarity. You want to build something meaningful. You want to feel proud of the life that you're living. You want to show up for your family, your work, and yourself without feeling like you're performing. But when you sit down to figure it out, the questions spiral. What should I focus on? What if I choose wrong? How do I balance everything without burning out? So you do nothing. The drift continues. But here's what the research shows. 27% of Australian men experience moderate loneliness and 16% experience severe loneliness. And this isn't just about being alone. It's about being disconnected from your purpose, from direction, and from the man that you know you're capable of being. You don't need more motivation. You need a clear vision, a strong plan, and small, consistent actions to follow. And that's what gets you back in control. So I've been exactly where you are. For years I floated, I had goals, I worked hard, but I was building without direction. Then everything changed in 2015 when I hired my first coach, Joel Brown. And I want to be clear. I didn't do it because I was broken. I did it because I wanted to stop guessing and I wanted to play a bigger game. I wanted to fast track my success by learning from someone who had already walked the path that I was trying to walk. 3 things happened when I invested in coaching. Firstly, I got answers to my specific challenges, not generic advice from a book, tailored solutions to what I was actually facing. Secondly, I identified my blind spots, the things that I couldn't see because I was too close to my own life. And third, I got access to a network. My coach introduced me to mentors, frameworks, and people who became part of my growth trajectory. That decision didn't just change my business, it changed who I was becoming. And man, it was a good feeling. So the first tangible shift, time management. I'm going to bang on about this all the time. Before coaching, I didn't use a diary. I had goals, but no systems. I'd try to work it out and I'd plan to spend time with my partner, but if it wasn't scheduled, well, it didn't happen. You see, after I got clarity, I became obsessive about my calendar, not just work meetings, everything. Training sessions, date nights, time to think and plan, even recovery. If it mattered, it went in the diary, and suddenly my life started moving forward instead of sideways. And here's what I learned. If you don't control your time, someone else will. Most men say they don't have time to invest in themselves, but the truth is they just don't have clarity on what they're building. So they fill their time with urgency instead of importance. And for me, that meant committing to move my body every single day, not picking and choosing, no excuses. Every morning at 5:30 a.m., bloody annoying alarm would go off and I was out. I would run, hit strength training or mobility work. I would do something. The activity varied, but the commitment didn't, because when it was in the calendar, there's no decision to make. And when there's no decision, there is no excuse. You just get up and do it. Time management isn't about being busy. It's about protecting what matters. Now, here's what you're really missing, and it's not discipline. You don't lack discipline. You lack a vision that's clear enough to commit to. See, when I was drifting, I had 100 different ideas. I'd start projects, then abandon them. I'd set goals, then let them slide. Not because I was weak, but because I didn't have the frameworks to organize my life around. And that's what the Life Performance Framework gave me. 4 pillars that work together. When all 4 are working, you're not scattered, you're aligned. Most men are great at one thing. Maybe you crush it at work, but your health is falling apart. Maybe you're fit, but feel directionless. Maybe you're clear on your purpose, but disconnected from the people that you love. Life performance means being great at all four, not perfect, but aligned. And here's how it works. So pillar number one, strong body. Your body is your operating system. When it's weak, everything else suffers. And I'm not talking about looking good. I'm talking about baseline strength that lets you show up. Most high performers neglect this because they're too busy. That's exactly backwards. A strong body creates mental clarity. Here's the standard. Lift weights 3 times per week minimum. Not hours in the gym, 45 minutes, compound movements, progressive overload. That's it. Most guys think they need the perfect program. They don't. You need consistency. Pick 3 days, non-negotiables. The trap, trying to do too much. You join the gym, you hire the trainer, you buy the supplements, commit to 6 days a week. Then you miss one session and quit entirely. Don't do that. 3 days, that's the standard. Protect it like you protect your most important meeting. And when you hit that standard for 30 days, you'll notice something. Your decision-making improves, your energy stabilizes. Pillar 2, calm mind. This isn't about meditation apps. This is about controlling your thoughts so that you can make clear decisions under pressure. Stress grows when you don't know what matters or what's next. Most men are overwhelmed because they're trying to hold everything in their head. The standard, get it out of your head onto paper. Every Sunday I spend an hour planning my week, maybe not an hour always, but a bit of time, getting clear on what matters most, what gets scheduled, what gets cut. That 1 hour creates clarity for the entire week. The trap here is thinking you don't have time for this. You don't have time not to do this. When you don't plan, you react. When you react, you drift. 1 hour every Sunday, non-negotiable. Pillar 3, clear purpose. This is about building your life on intention, not accident. You need to know what you're building towards, not vague dreams, but get clear on specific outcomes. So for me, that meant asking, what does control actually look like? Firstly, financial freedom. I reverse engineered the number that I needed to feel secure and independent. Then I built a plan to get there. Lifestyle flexibility. I wanted to work for myself from anywhere, so I started building something that wasn't location dependent. Adventure-ready fitness. I didn't just want to look fit, although that's an added bonus. I wanted to feel capable, so that I set baselines for strength, endurance, and that let me say yes to adventures that life throws at me. And I think it's one of the best things to have. Your vision will look different to mine. And that's the point. You're not trying to live someone else's definition of success. You're building a life that fits you. The standard, write down what control means for you. 3 specific areas, then reverse engineer the plan. 4th and final pillar, confident life. Now, this is about showing up fully in your relationships, your work, and who you're becoming. Confidence doesn't just come from feeling good. It definitely helps. It comes from keeping promises to yourself. When I decided to run 58 marathons in 58 days, I didn't start with the full challenge. I started with one decision. I'm going to run every day, no matter what. And that one decision became the anchor. Everything else had to support that. And that's when I stopped drifting and started building towards achieving that goal. The standard, pick one commitment. Something that moves you closer to the man that you want to be. Training 4 days a week, 3 strength sessions a week, no excuses. Scheduling 1 hour every Sunday to plan your week. Having one conversation with your partner where you're fully present. Pick one, schedule it, and protect it like your life depends on it. Because in a way, it kind of does. So here's how these pillars work together. You're probably wondering this one. When you dial in strong body, calm mind, clear purpose, and confident life, here's what happens. You stop feeling like you're grinding. You start feeling like you're building something. Your energy becomes stable. Your decisions become clearer. You show up for your family differently. You show up for yourself differently, actually. And I've seen this with hundreds of men, successful on the outside, empty on the inside. 6 months into the Core 4 system or the Life Performance system, they tell me, I feel like myself again. And that's what's possible when you take control. So let me give you one example. I worked with a guy, and let's call him Tom, 42 years old, running about a $4 to $5 million business, sleeping roughly 4 to 6 hours a night, one of those grinders, and told me he was fine. 3 months into the system, his revenue was up, his relationship was better, and he'd lost 4 kilos without trying. And that's what happens when you fix the operating system. You don't need to overhaul your whole life tomorrow. You need to commit to one thing that's going to move you closer to the man that you want to be. So here's what I want you to do. I have a free resource. It's a life performance scorecard. It will take you less than 4 minutes. It'll show you exactly where you're strong and where you're leaking energy. The link is in the description. And if you want more of this, a real performance strategy, no fluff, hit subscribe because I put out a new video every week. And if you got value from this, hit that like button because it allows YouTube to show more people this video because people are enjoying it. So as we look to wrap this one up, a year from now, you'll meet one of two versions of yourself. The one who's still drifting, still capable, still waiting for one day, or the one who took control, who's building with intention, who feels proud of the choices that he's making. The only question is, which version will you meet? You've got this. Now go build it.